Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about 3,300 IRCC jobs cut by Canada likely to result in processing delays. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada has announced plans to eliminate 3,300 jobs over the next 3 years. This sweeping move, confirmed on January 20, 2025, is set to have wide-reaching consequences on essential public services, including immigration processing, which is already facing significant challenges. 3,300 IRCC jobs cut. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada has dramatically announced plans to eliminate 3,300 positions over the next 3 years. The video, confirmed in a statement on January 20, 2025, is already being criticized as a devastating blow to public services vital to Canadian families, businesses, and communities. According to IRCC, these reductions will impact every sector and branch of the organization, both domestically and internationally. The job cuts are set to affect employees at all levels, including executive positions. Over the next 3 years, we will reduce our planned workforce by approximately 3,300 positions, IRCC confirmed. This will impact to various degrees every sector and every branch across IRCC, both domestically and internationally, in HQ and the regions, and at all levels, including up to the executive levels. The department estimates that about 80% of the reductions can be achieved through reducing staffing commitments and temporary workforce roles. However, the remaining 20% will involve the workforce adjustment process, directly affecting permanent employees. Why are IRCC jobs cut announced? IRCC stated that the staffing adjustments are a direct result of reduced immigration levels and funding cuts. The federal department expanded rapidly in recent years to tackle global crises, modernize its systems, and manage record immigration levels to address Canada's labor shortages and economic recovery. This expansion, however, relied heavily on temporary funding. The statement highlighted, in October 2024, the Government of Canada announced its immigration levels plan for the next 3 years, which will see reduced immigration levels resulting in a short-term pause in our population growth to achieve more sustainable long-term growth. This recalibration aligns with the government's strategy to focus on sustainable growth linked to housing, infrastructure, and social services. Public outcry, devastating blow to essential services. The video has sparked outrage among federal unions, with the Public Service Alliance of Canada and the Canada Employment and Immigration Union condemning the decision. They describe it as a devastating blow to public services. PSAC National President Sharon D'Souza voiced her concerns. These massive cuts will hurt families and businesses who rely on these critical public services and make a growing immigration crisis even worse. Sweeping public service cuts always hurt Canada's most vulnerable populations and leave thousands of workers in limbo. The unions have also criticized the lack of clarity around who will be affected, stating that more information will only be provided in mid-February 2025. Implications for immigration services. The job cuts come at a time when Canada's immigration processing system is already under immense strain. The unions warn that the reductions will exacerbate existing backlogs, prolong processing delays, and negatively impact families, businesses, and sectors relying on skilled immigrants. Rubina Boucher, national president of the CEIU, expressed grave concerns. Last month, immigration processing wait times continued to reach record-breaking backlog levels, and these cuts will only worsen an already dire situation. Families longing to reunite, businesses grappling with critical labor shortages, and a healthcare system desperate for skilled workers will all suffer the consequences of this reckless decision. The federal government has been pursuing cost-cutting measures across public services for years. In 2024, IRCC's workforce had grown to 13,092 employees, up from 10,248 in 2022 and 7,800 in 2019. Despite this growth, the federal budget for 2024 outlined plans to reduce 5,000 public service jobs through attrition over 4 years. The 2023 federal budget included $15.4 billion in public sector spending reductions over 5 years. This trend continued with the 2023 fall fiscal update, which pledged to extend and expand efforts to streamline government spending. Critics call for re-evaluation. The Canadian Association of Professional Employees has called on the government to halt job cuts until Parliament reconvenes. CAPE President Nathan Pryor pointed to broader geopolitical concerns, including potential shifts in U.S. immigration policy, as reasons to pause the layoffs. Given the current political and social climate, it would be prudent to put these anticipated workforce reductions on hold, or at the very least to slow them down, until Parliament resumes, Pryor stated. NDP immigration critic Jenny Kwan also criticized the cuts, highlighting the severe processing delays already plaguing IRCC. Many of the streams are already faced with severe processing delays. For some, it's worse. For example, spousal sponsorship applications outside of Quebec jumped from 12 months to 24 months, Kwan said. Cuts to IRCC staff will only further prolong that pain. The broader impact: families, businesses, and Canada's economy. With over 367,000 employees in Canada's federal public service, the IRCC reductions represent the most significant cut to date. The decision has left workers uncertain about their futures and raised concerns about the government's commitment to addressing Canada's immigration challenges. Unions are urging the government to collaborate on alternatives, such as replacing outsourcing contracts and exploring other cost-saving measures without compromising essential services. As Canada grapples with these changes, the impact of the IRCC's job cuts will be closely watched. The reduction in staffing raises pressing questions about the country's ability to meet its immigration and economic goals, especially as labor shortages and backlogs persist. For now, the federal government's decision underscores the delicate balance between fiscal responsibility and the urgent need to maintain efficient and effective public services. Whether these cuts achieve the intended sustainability or create a deeper crisis remains to be seen. Why is IRCC cutting jobs? IRCC is reducing its workforce to align with lower immigration levels and funding cuts, aiming for more sustainable growth linked to housing, infrastructure, and social services. How many jobs will be cut at IRCC? Approximately 3,300 positions will be eliminated over the next 3 years. What roles will be affected by the cuts? The reductions will impact employees at all levels across IRCC, including executives. About 80% will come from reducing temporary roles, while 20% will affect permanent staff. How will the job cuts affect immigration processing times? Critics warn that the cuts will worsen existing backlogs and delays in processing applications, including spousal sponsorship and permanent residency applications. What are unions saying about the cuts? Unions such as PSAC and CEIU have condemned the job cuts, calling them a devastating blow to public services and urging the government to explore alternative solutions. The decision to cut 3,300 positions within IRCC is raising concerns about the future of Canada's immigration system and its ability to support sustainable growth. While the government points to a shift toward long-term sustainability, unions and critics argue that these cuts will harm vulnerable populations and prolong delays in critical immigration services. As the situation unfolds, it remains to be seen how these cuts will impact Canada's broader goals of addressing labor shortages and economic recovery. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.